Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. So today we are going with a bit of a different video that I've been quite excited to make, and if you do enjoy, please be sure to let me know and I'll be looking to make a few more of these. So today we're going to be looking at the tragic tale of Jack Wilshere.
Jack Wilshere joined Arsenal at only age 9 and was immediately rising through the ranks at the club. At only age 15 he would become captain of the under-16s and would score a very memorable goal for Arsenal's reserves under the watchful eye of Arsene Wenger. He would then also go on to play an important part in the club's FA Youth Cup win, scoring against Liverpool in the first leg of the final. Wilshere would then be promoted to the first team squad and given the number 19 shirt. It was clear from very early on that Arsene Wenger had his eyes on this kid and that he was a big talent. Not only was he so young, but he was so composed and had the ability to really impose himself on games as a young box-to-box and very tenacious midfielder. This kid clearly had a lot of talent, and that was soon to be seen. At just age 16 years and 256 days, he would break Cesc Fabregas's previously set record of becoming Arsenal's youngest ever player against Blackburn Rovers at Ewood Park. And then not even 10 days later, he would score his first professional goal at the Emirates Stadium against Sheffield United in the League Cup. Quite a feat for a young lad. In the January transfer window following this, he would join Bolton Wanderers until the end of the season, and he would go on to score his first Premier League goal away at West Ham, the club he supported as a boy. Wilshere would then find himself being promoted to the international stage and would make his senior England debut, becoming the Three Lions' 10th youngest player of all time. A string of impressive performances in the heart of midfield alongside Alex Song saw Wilshere become a regular, and an impressive performance against Chelsea in a 3-1 win, and the Premier League was really starting to see what Jack Wilshere could do. It was at this point that Fabio Capello would describe Wilshere as the future for England. Wilshere would then go on to put in an unbelievable display in the Champions League against Barcelona at home, in which Arsenal dominated a midfield of Xavi, Iniesta and Sergio Busquets, with Wilshere at the heart of this domination. Barcelona would take a 1-0 lead in this fixture, but Wilshere and the team managed to impose themselves on this game and would go on to run out 2-1 winners, a massive result for the club against Pep Guardiola's Barcelona. During the start of the 2011-12 season, Wilshere suffered a stress fracture and found himself ruled out for the entire season. He would then make his return after 17 months in an impressive man-of-the-match performance against QPR. In the next few years, Wilshere's career would take the same trajectory. When he would play, he would dazzle and light up the Emirates with man-of-the-match displays, as well as 2 consecutive Goal of the Season awards for his brilliant tiki-taka goal against Norwich and his rocket against West Brom. Wilshere's goal against Norwich would see him receive the ball from Santi Cazorla. He would then feed the ball into striker Olivier Giroud, who would flick it over the top for Wilshere to run onto, and he would delicately finish the ball into the far corner. As you can see here, his goal against West Brom was an absolute rocket. The beautiful goal against Norwich and the rocket against West Brom were only the tip of the iceberg for Jack Wilshere. The kid had so much potential, so much talent, but on the other hand, he was still missing massive chunks of football with injuries. As you can see from the graphic here, he would consistently pick up injuries that would have him out for long periods of time, and in the end, he would find himself loaned out for the entirety of the season to Bournemouth in 2016. He would slowly begin to find form for the Cherries, winning back-to-back Player of the Month awards in November and December, but once again, disaster would strike for the midfielder. In April, he would pick up a hairline fracture to his fibula, and it would later be announced that he was going to miss the remainder of the season and would have to return back to Arsenal to continue his treatment. A real shame for him, as he was beginning to find form for the Cherries as they went on to record their highest place finish in the Premier League in years. On the 20th of September 2017, Wilshere would make his first start for Arsenal in 16 months against Doncaster Rovers and would then go on to score his first Arsenal goal in 928 days in the Europa League against Bate Borisov. An injury to Aaron Ramsey saw Wilshere start his first match for Arsenal in the Premier League since 2016, and this would be the first time he would complete a full 90 minutes since September 2014. On the 3rd of Jan 2018, Wilshere, on his 6th consecutive start for Arsenal, would score in a 2-2 draw with Chelsea, this goal being his first in the Premier League in 2.5 years. Wilshere would announce he would be leaving Arsenal at the end of that season after being at the club since the age of 9, making 197 appearances and scoring 14 goals. He would then move to West Ham, the club he supported as a boy. But things weren't to be for Wilshere at West Ham, as he would only make 19 appearances for the club and score 1 goal over 3 years, once again consistently missing big chunks of his football with little niggly injuries that would keep him out for quite a long period of time at once. He was never ever given the chance to get a good run of games under his belt, find some form and show the world what he could really do. You could see how frustrating this must have been for him, because he had so much talent. He would then return to Bournemouth for the 2020/21 season. In the Championship, he would make 17 appearances and score 2 goals for the Cherries. Bournemouth was clearly a club where he seemed to be able to find his best, but it wasn't to be, and they ended up releasing him. Jack Wilshere would then join Danish Super League side AGF, where he would only manage to play 14 times. Once again, Wilshere couldn't really find himself in the starting lineup enough times, and at the end of this, he would leave the club. It's a real shame here, as he tried to move abroad to find more football, to find more starts, but once again would find himself struggling. At the age of 30, Jack Wilshere on the 8th of July 2022 would announce his retirement from football, having made 288 professional appearances and scoring 18 goals. He also would make 34 appearances for his country, scoring 2 times.
In summary, Jack Wilshere was a player who had the world at his feet. To be so young and have that much talent, everybody could see that this kid could have been up there with some of the greatest players in the game. To have so many managers of such high stature like Pep Guardiola, Fabio Capello, Arsene Wenger, all praising him, all saying that this kid could have been one of the best in the world, just shows how much talent he really had. But to have a career so hampered by injuries, it must have been so frustrating for him, and frustrating for me personally as like an England fan, because who knows where England could have gone if Jack Wilshere had not suffered the injuries he had and lived up to the potential that this kid really did have. It would have been great. So ultimately, Jack Wilshere, his career was massively hampered by injuries, and it is a real shame to see. So, if you have enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here. I'll be looking to produce a fair few more of these kind of videos. They're quite fun to make. So yeah, keep an eye out for those, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.